The Workforce Investment Act, also known as WIA, offers an integrated and comprehensive range of services consisting of workforce development activities benefiting job seekers and employers. Job seekers include adults, dislocated workers, youth, incumbent workers, new entrants to the workforce, veterans, and individuals with a disability. WIA's objective is to meet employers' needs by increasing employment, job retention, earnings, and occupational skills among all job seeker populations. The Northern Virginia WIA area serves the counties of Fairfax, Loudoun, and Prince William, and the cities of Fairfax, Falls Church, Manassas, and Manassas Park. Services are delivered through the Virginia Workforce Centers, locally known as Skill Source Centers, and are identified on the map. WIA services are available throughout the country. To identify your local workforce area and the workforce center nearest you, please visit www.servicelocator.org. WIA establishes 3 levels of employment and training services for adults and dislocated workers: core, intensive, and training. After completion, WIA clients enter 12 months of follow-up services. WIA eligibility determination is required when a job seeker needs staff-assisted services to obtain or retain employment. As a job seeker moves through the service levels, additional requirements must be met to show that the job seeker is appropriate for the next level of service and requires that level of service to obtain or retain employment. WIA is not an entitlement program. It is for job seekers that have accessed self-service core services through our one-stop centers and continue to struggle in finding employment. Job readiness and commitment to obtaining employment will be determined by a case manager prior to enrollment. Self-service core services are designed to inform and educate individuals. They are informational in nature and do not require eligibility determination. Examples include the tour of services, or an orientation to inform individuals of services available through one-stop centers, internet access, reference materials, newspapers, computers, telephones, printers, and fax machines to assist you in your job search. Self-service also includes information on hiring employers, upcoming job fairs, available workshops, and local labor market statistics. Staff-assisted core services go beyond self-service and are provided on a one-to-one basis or in small groups. These services are generally provided after job seekers have utilized self-services and often require registration. Examples include an initial assessment of skills levels, career counseling and job search assistance, free workshops. Topics include resume writing, interview skills, how to get a federal job, networking, social media, and the job search. Assistance in determining eligibility and referral to WIA or appropriate programs, and assistance in filing for unemployment insurance or UI claims. Intensive services are staff-assisted job search and occupational development for eligible adults and dislocated workers. Eligibility determination is required before a job seeker may receive these services. Examples include development of an individual employment plan, or IEP, literacy activities related to basic workforce readiness, individual case management, including career counseling, personalized job search, and resume assistance, short-term pre-vocational services, and career assessments. The Individual Employment Plan, or IEP, is a working tool which identifies the participants' goals and objectives and the appropriate service strategies needed to meet these goals. Each WIA participant is evaluated based on educational background, prior work experience, employment barriers, and current economic status. The participant and case manager must mutually agree on this plan, which will be updated throughout enrollment. Each WIA participant is also required to complete comprehensive formal assessments to measure aptitude and interest levels. The Work Keys assessment measures aptitude levels on basic work-related skills in reading, math, and locating information. Information on online tutorials will be provided to help participants prepare for Work Keys. Successful completion of the Work Keys assessment will result in a Career Readiness Certificate that can be included on your resume. The Virginia Workforce Connection Work Interest Analyzer measures interest levels and matches it to appropriate occupational clusters. Information on this assessment will be emailed to you for completing prior to meeting with a case manager. Based on the individual employment plan, eligible adults and dislocated workers may have access to short-term training related to in-demand industries such as IT, medical, and management. Training services pay job training costs associated with WIA-approved training programs. Examples include occupational skills training, on-the-job training or OJT, skills upgrading and retraining, combined workplace and classroom training, entrepreneurial training, job readiness training, and adult education and literacy. WIA can only cover training costs for one in-demand career training program. In order to receive training funds, WIA participants have individual training accounts, or ITAs, for the purpose of upgrading skills to assist with gaining employment. Do not register or pay for anything prior to enrollment and discussion with your case manager. WIA does not reimburse any training costs that have been incurred prior to WIA enrollment and approval for training services. Training cap limits are $3,000 for clients under the adult category and $3,500 for clients under the dislocated worker category. Please allow at least 2 weeks to process a request for training after enrollment, assessments, and training paperwork are completed. Participants are required to submit verification of training progress, certificates of completion, and employment information. After discussing training with your case manager, participants will be asked to complete training forms. The customer request for training form is completed by the participant to indicate the training choice, schools, tuition fees, and curriculum. Selected training providers must be on the eligible training provider list. The financial award analysis is given to the training provider's financial award officer to complete. This form indicates other grants, financial aid, or tuition assistance. WIA is the last resort for funding and does not allow for duplication of funds. The training agreement identifies participants' responsibilities to complete training and provide validation of training. Validation of training may include attendance sheets, grades, transcripts, and the certificate of completion. After receiving WIA services, WIA participants must provide their case manager with verification of training, if applicable, employment verification, and take part in 12 months of follow-up. During follow-up, the retention specialist will contact you monthly to verify your employment status. If you lose your job during this time, you can receive assistance with your resume and job search as you look for employment. To receive intensive and training services, you must qualify as an eligible adult or dislocated worker. All participants must be 18 years of age or older, authorized to work legally in the United States, and able to meet military selective service registration requirements for males born after January 1st, 1960. Please note, priority of service is given to military veterans, low-income individuals, and recipients of public assistance. In order to be eligible as a WIA adult, you must meet the definition for low income, which includes individuals who receive or are a member of a family that receives TANF and or has been determined eligible for food stamps within the last 6 months, is homeless, has a disability, and whose individual income meets the income requirements, even if the individual's family income does not meet the requirements, or is in foster care whom state or local government payments are made, or receives an income or is a member of family that receives a total family income that does not exceed 70% of the lower living standard income level, or LLSIL. Please take a moment to review income guidelines based on family size and employment status at the time of enrollment. There are 4 categories of eligibility for dislocated workers. Category 1. Terminated or laid off, or has received a notice of termination or layoff from employment as a result of permanent closure or any substantial layoff at a plant, facility, or enterprise, and is eligible for unemployment compensation, and is unlikely to return to previous occupation. Category 2. Employed at a facility at which the employer has made a general announcement that such facility will close within 180 days. Category 3. Formerly self-employed and currently unemployed as a result of general economic conditions in the community in which the individual resides or because of a natural disaster. Category 4. Displaced homemaker. An individual who has been dependent on the income of another family member but is no longer supported by that income, and is unemployed or underemployed and experiencing difficulty obtaining or upgrading employment. Each job seeker is required to provide validation of eligibility. The following documents or items will need to be copied by the case manager for your file: Social Security card, driver's license, proof of U.S. citizenship or legal authority to work in the United States, other eligibility documentation as needed, your resume, and a job search log. Eligible low-income adult applicants must provide the last 6 months of income for every family member in their household earning money, and family size verification, or TANF or food stamp verification. Eligible dislocated worker applicants must provide a receipt of unemployment insurance compensation, their VEC monetary determination eligibility, and separation letter from employer. Case managers are required to collect documentation related to eligibility, training, and employment. Participants' full cooperation will ensure timely receipt of services. The following forms must be completed prior to enrollment in WIA. These forms are available on myskillsource.org and can be printed from home or at your local workforce center. The customer profile, to provide us with an overview of your current situation. A job search log, to exhibit active participation in job search prior to accessing WIA services. The orientation form, verifying your understanding of WIA services covered in this presentation. Consent to exchange information, which allows the exchange of information with various service providers, including the Virginia Employment Commission, training providers, and partnering agencies. Equal opportunity, or EO, to acknowledge your understanding of the laws prohibiting discrimination. Customer complaint procedure, to provide customers a means for expressing concerns or complaints about the process or services. Confidentiality agreement, stating that case managers will maintain participants' information in a manner that ensures it will not be accessible to anyone without authorized access. Additional paperwork may be required prior to training. As a WIA participant, you have certain rights, benefits, and responsibilities. The case manager will provide participants with information on in-demand jobs and eligible training providers, but the customer chooses the career path and training best suited for them within program guidelines. WIA offers the benefits of free vocational career counseling, access to training funds, and one-to-one intensive counseling. In addition, the participant is responsible for complying with WIA requirements, submitting all required documentation pertaining to employment and training, and contacting the case manager during participation regarding progress and employment. Please note that enrollment in the WIA program is a process. It may take several weeks to complete depending on how quickly you follow steps 1 through 3 and availability of appointment. Step 1. Print your orientation completion ticket. To do so, visit www.surveymonkey.com/s/VAWIA. Step 2. Gather eligibility documentation. A checklist is provided for you at www.myskillsource.org. Step 3. Contact your local SkillSource Center to schedule an appointment for a WIA eligibility screening. To view center calendars, visit www.myskillsource.org. Thank you for participating in the WIA orientation. We look forward to meeting you soon.